This video contains content from the most addictive game of all time. Viewer discretion is advised. Balatro released in early 2024, and by the end of the year, it was winning all the awards it could. So throughout the year, I just kept hearing about this secret game that people are getting super addicted to. The more I heard about it, the more confused as to what made it so addictive. It just didn't really make sense to me. I just kept reading, oh, it's like a poker game. Okay, poker's been around forever. It's literally the first card game to ever be televised. Oh, it's a deck building roguelike. Man, they be making roguelikes from anything nowadays. So the more I heard about it, the more I just kept dismissing it. Somehow I managed to not see a single frame of gameplay for this game, so it was all in my imagination, and this legend of this marvelous card game kept growing. And the little I knew about it was all from internet word of mouth. Until Microsoft put it on the Game Pass in early 2025, and I decided to see what the big deal was. And now I feel like I am part of the second wave of Balatro fans. You have your day ones that have been there forever, and now that I've gotten into it, I'm noticing more and more people getting into it. I mean, it's even taken Jack Black.
Oh my god, I've been playing this torturous game on my iPhone called Balatro, the card game.
It was also featured in Black Mirror, confirming it has evil ways. So let's take a look at this very unassuming game that might be the most addictive game of all time, Balatro. Balatro in ancient Rome was what you would call a professional jester, or a buffoon, a joker if you will, which is the key to this game. So if you have a basic understanding of poker hands, you have a bit of a leg up. If you don't, it's simple enough to pick up quickly, and there's a chart to help you along the way. With the goal of the game being to get past 8 antes, aka levels. Each ante or level is made up of 3 blinds. You have the small blind, the big blind, and the boss blind. The blind is the objective of that round. It's the amount of points you must score to move on to the next blind. You score points by playing poker hands. Each poker hand has a designated amount of chips and mults. You also have a certain amount of hands and discards you can use for the round. The boss blind has a stipulation to make the round tougher. It might debuff a certain suit or start the round with no discards, give you a -1 to your hand. Face cards are drawn face down so you don't get to see what they are. There are just a ton of them. There are actually 28 different boss blinds and 5 final boss blinds that can show up at the 8th ante. These are even tougher. Now, there's a lot of stuff that helps you along the way. The true core in what makes everything go or not go in the game is not only luck, but like I said, they're the jokers. These are special cards you get that have effects that help boost your score. There are a total of 150 jokers, ranging from common, uncommon, rare, and 5 legendary ones. Unlocking them and figuring out how to properly use them with other jokers is half the fun of Balatro, or Balatro. I speak Spanish, so I like to say Balatro. I think the creator said that you can pronounce it however you want, so Balatro it is. An example of what jokers do is add chips or mults for specific reasons, like get an extra 30 chips for playing face cards, a +5 mult on face cards, add 5 permanent chips to every card you play. Other jokers allow you to pretty much cheat, like play a straight with a number gap, so you can actually play a jack, a 10, an 8, a 6, and a 4, and that would count as a straight. Or allow you to play straights and flushes with only 4 cards instead of 5. Cutting down the suits down to 2, so the hearts and the diamonds would be classified as one suit, the spades and the clubs as the other. Again, there are 150 of these, so I'm not going to break each one of them down, but even when you unlock them, it takes you a second to fully understand how to use them. It took my stupid dyslexic ass a ton of time to realize there was actually a difference between plus mult and X mult, with the X multiplying the mult that's already there. So those are very good. I would just see 1.5 and think, what do I want? Just added 1.5. No, fool, it multiplies it 1.5 to the number that's already there. The jokers trigger from left to right, so you can move these around to find the best way to get the most out of them. On top of that, each card has additions. You have base cards, then foil cards that add 50 chips when played, holographics that add a 10 mult, polychrome, which is X, 1.5 mult, those are better, and negative jokers, which add a joker slot because you only start usually with 5 slots. On top of that, you can pimp out the cards as well, adding seals and enhancements to them, giving the cards themselves special effects with card modifiers. Maybe a normal card gets an extra 30 chips, or red seals that allowed them to re-trigger. There are a ton of different ways to gain money. Some cards give you some with the mods give you some at the end of the round. Some jokers can give you money, and you are usually rewarded with some after beating a round. In between rounds, you are taken to the shop. They usually offer 2 jokers for you to purchase, which you can pay to reroll and get offered different ones. You can also sell your jokers. There are also booster packs, joker packs, tarot packs, celestial packs, spectral packs, and vouchers. I know it sounds like a lot, but hang in there with me. Booster packs offer extra playing cards to add to your deck, usually with card enhancements. Poker packs feature jokers you can pick from to add to the slots. The Arcana packs feature tarot cards that can modify your deck as well. You can pick which card to enhance, turn the card into a wild suit, you can double your money, destroy cards, and much more. There are 22 different tarot cards, including one that gives you 2 planet cards. The Celestial pack also gives you planet cards. They're used to level up your poker hands, giving you more chips and molts as its base. Spectral packs feature super special cards. This is how you get legendary jokers, along with a bunch of other crazy things like changing the suit of a bunch of cards, or changing them all to 1 rank, or adding a negative effect to a joker, copying a random joker but destroying the rest of them. There's a ton of them like that. And finally, in the shops, you have vouchers. These are add-ons to your round. Some grant you a permanent extra card in your hand, or an extra discard, or the ability to reroll the boss blind for money. You can also mess with the frequency in which you get tarot cards or celestial packs in the shop, lower the cost of the rerolls. There's a ton of them, and these reset after each ante. So before you choose to take on a blind, you're given the option to skip the blind, in which case you move on to the next one and you're awarded a tag. These are benefits you get for skipping. Some of the benefits are given to you immediately, like opening packs, others until you get to the shop. Some examples, there are like +3 to your hand for the next round, some guaranteeing you a joker, either an uncommon one or a rare one, or even jokers with additions to them. And there are even some that upgrade poker hands by 3 levels. There are 24 of these, so again, there's a lot of options there too. It really took me some time to trust the skips. Sometimes it's better to skip just for the benefit. At first I thought it was kind of dumb because you can get these things at the shop, but sometimes a benefit could help you out even more, especially when it comes to the boss blinds. Like I said, this is a roguelike, so if you fail a run, you must start from the beginning. All the cards you added to the deck, the jokers, the tags, everything is gone and you must start again from scratch. I found that you can jump back in and try and redo your last turn, and other times if the game knows you played a hand wrong, it will even give you a couple of hands before, kind of giving you like an extra chance so you're not always just dead, which feels really cool to continue a run once you've lost. One thing that takes time to learn as well is not to build up your deck with what you necessarily like. You have to build it with what you're given. Everything that I mentioned is randomly generated, so there's no use in sticking out with a joker that serves no purpose just because you like what it does. Everything has to come and work together, shaping out your deck with the tarot cards based on the levels that you've upgraded and the jokers that appear. So you have to figure out what to do as the jokers coming up with the intent of always trying to maximize your points. Once you fully understand the jokers and the cards, the game kind of becomes this ever-changing puzzle trying to build the best deck possible. For example, say you skip a blind and you get 3 levels added to the flush. Then you open a celestial pack and one of the options is to upgrade the flush. Well, the flush is already your best poker hand. Chances are you want to use cards that facilitate and boost the flush, turning cards to a specific suit or destroying lower cards that you have less of that suit to give you a better chance in getting those cards. But say you start a next run, you can't fall in love with the flush because the cards you are given favor another hand. And my biggest mistake was falling in love with the bigger hands, the straights, the flushes, and the full houses. Yes, the bigger and better they are, the more points you get, but they're also the more difficult hands to play. So later on as I'm playing, I'm learning to fall in love with the smaller hands, the high cards, the pairs, and the 2 pairs, because those are way easier to play. Those are way easier to formulate as you draw hands. So I feel like I'm going backwards. I'm learning to appreciate the lower hands more than I did the big ones. And there's just so much more you can do to boost those hands. When you die, or even when you win, you will see a seed code. A seed is a unique code generated every time you start a new run, and the seed determines everything that it generates. So you're able to play seeded runs, which give you the same exact cards if you make the same exact choices. You can even copy seeds online, allowing you to recreate specific runs. Because with so many cards, no run is the same, but with the seeds, it can be. At the beginning of the game, you start with the red deck. This one gives you an extra discard to that run. The next 4 decks you unlock by adding cards to the collection, discovering all the cards I mentioned. Because you don't have everything, you have to unlock them by doing achievements. Then they appear in the shop for you to purchase. Most jokers are unlocked by simply just playing, lose 5 runs or play 100 hands, reach a certain ante, but then you'll get to a point where you have to actually figure out what you have to do to unlock them and play a few runs with the intentions of just purely unlocking the joker, because if you don't read and figure out what you're supposed to do to unlock it, chances are you will never purposefully discard 4 jacks or discard a royal flush. So the key early on is to fail and fail quickly and efficiently to build up your collection of jokers. So the first 5 decks you unlock pretty easily doing these things. The next 10 are done by winning with each of those decks and by winning each stake. Stakes are the difficulty modifiers added to those decks. And every time you play a new stake, the previous difficulty stays on there. So the difficulty is always building. For as much as I've been playing, the highest stake I am at right now is orange, so I have 2 more stakes to complete in one of my decks. When you do get to defeat a boss blind, you can continue in endless mode to see how far you can get, where the blinds just keep going and going. It's not truly endless because you can get up to the ante 39, where the score requirement is whatever the f. This means scoring over that results as the score showing as a non-exponent infinity, which is the highest ante reachable in endless mode, in which case it's considered that you've beaten the endless mode and you can move on. I've only gotten to ante 14 and I've never even scored that high, so shout out to the Balatro wiki for explaining that, because I still suck. I haven't even done that yet. I haven't even unlocked everything yet, and I'm sure people who are in God tier are looking down at me and think I suck, which I would agree. I don't even know how to pronounce whatever the f this was. For as much as I've played, I still haven't scratched the surface. I still am not sure what the hell I'm doing half the times. I look at Balatro God's gameplay and don't understand how they did what they did. And that's how far more I have to go. Once you get experience and go back to the lower levels, it is easier to win. Early on, it doesn't make you feel like you're being cheated when you lose. You can easily figure out where you went wrong. Maybe the blind is too big for your deck and the joker, so you move on to the next run. Until you get to the later ones, like the orange stake that I am at now. You can feel like they aren't giving you the necessary cards for your hand. That's why you have to build the deck to accommodate that. There is some, I don't want to say skill, because there is a lot of luck involved, but in the easier levels, they do give you what you need more frequent. And with the experience, you know what to pick, you know what works. Plus, you've unlocked a lot of the jokers. So the seed or the RNG is more favorable. After you win 5 runs, you unlock challenges. These are runs with specific rules to them, and you start off with jokers tailored to the challenge, like 1 in 4 cards are drawn face down the whole run, or all jokers are eternals, whatever you buy you have to keep, or you get no reward money, but you start with a ton of egg jokers that gain $3 of sell value for each round. So once you unlock them, they give you 8 of these, and you unlock 1 each time you beat another, and there are 20 of these. I think I'm up to 16 now, so I still have a handful of those to go as well. These are really fun because while it's challenging, you're still also learning about potential cards and combinations you can use. Maybe when in a normal run, you can use the same strategy that you used in a challenge in that run. I like to Google how long it takes to beat a game, and when I did, it said that Balatro took 7 hours. But then I realized that meant it takes 7 hours for you to get your first win. I don't know what it is to beat Balatro. You could do all the challenges, do all the stakes for all the decks. There's just so much that you can do that if you really want to complete the game, it's going to be probably over 200 hours of gameplay. So needless to say, there is a ton of replayability in this game. There's so much to do because it takes a while just to get going. I know gameplay doesn't seem like much, but trust me, it really does pull you in. Much like real casinos, Balatro is designed to keep you glued onto the screen. This game is targeted to attack the degenerate that lives inside of us. It combines all the degenerate aspects of gambling, which are already super addictive themselves, with its slot machine-like mechanics. Add the perseverance and the will to win that roguelikes give you, with dangling the victory in your face with each try just coming closer and closer to victory kind of mechanic, and you have no chance but to get trapped in this game loop. They also don't tell you how many points the hand is going to score. Yeah, the hand has its value, but once you add everything up, the result is different. So unless you want to pop out a calculator, you don't know how much you're going to score. So there's a bit of gambling and hoping that you hit the score, especially when it comes down to the last hand. Hope growing with each sound effect as your score goes up. And then when you do hit the targeted points, boy, is it satisfying.
Give me a hell yeah!
I think that the best part of Balatro is that you don't have to spend real money gambling on stupid booster packs. Honestly, shout out to Local Thunk for not having any microtransactions anywhere. Honestly, they deserve a medal for that. They could have easily made $1 trillion by inserting predatory monetization schemes with some pay-to-win bullshit, but that would ruin the whole thing. This game is masterfully designed to keep you playing. The graphics, the design of the cards, their names. Aesthetically, I do find it a bit creepy. It makes me think that there's more to the world, as if there was even a world to begin with. And from the beginning, you can pick different designs for the faces of the cards from other video games, which I appreciate and love. The one song is on a loop, but it's so catchy, and again, there's a little bit of a creepy factor to it, but it never gets annoying. The sound effects are so satisfying and work with great synergy with the music. The sound of your chips going up is just like a straight dopamine rush, which I actually think plays a scientific part in this game being so addictive. According to a report published by Harvard Health Publishing, research suggests that dopamine not only contributes to the experience of pleasure, but also plays a role in learning and memory, two key elements in the transition from liking something to becoming addicted to it. And what'd you know, learning and memory are the two main elements to succeed in Balatro. The more you play, the more you learn, the more you use your memory for what works, and if you do it right, you are rewarded. Then you enter this never-ending loop to try and do it again. It's a recipe for a highly addictive game. Add the fun music and satisfying sound effects, you have your answer as to why this game became so popular. The concept is so brilliant, it's almost annoying no one else thought of it before. Luckily, I don't think it affects children because they don't give a shit about poker, but I don't think any adult who plays it is safe. Even if you're not super into poker, it still grabs you and never lets go. So if you've not played it before and decide to give it a try, I will warn you, it might become a problem in your life. It might be the only thing that you think about. You might not take your dog for walks anymore, fail to respond texts, shut out your close friends and family, all to beat the f***ing game. And I must tell you, it's really not your fault. It has all the things to make it addictive. It has the one more mentality. The pack opening, the satisfied victory, level building, the unpredictability of the seeds. They dangle the carrot just out of reach that when you eventually do grab it is super satisfying. But then you look up and there's another carrot and it's just out a bit further. It will take over your brain even when you don't want to. This game really features real life time travel too. You hop on it for a minute and the next thing you know, bam, it's been 10 hours. I'm so addicted I'm playing right now. Of course, I am being a bit hyperbolic about the whole addiction thing, but this game really did sink its hooks on me. And as someone who plays a ton of games to review, I am going to reveal something. Hopefully this doesn't make you unsubscribe, but I use Madden as a palate cleanser, something just to shut my brain off for a minute, a game where I don't have to take notes or pay attention to the story. And I think Balatro might replace Madden, at least for a while. I mean, it's going to enter the rotation until I finish it, but there's still so much to the game I don't even know what finishing it means. If you've never played it and you're seeing the gameplay for the first time, you're probably thinking what I did. How could this game be so dangerous? Well, play it for yourself and see, but be warned and approach it with caution. But if you played Balatro or Balatro, however you want to say it, please let me know down in the comments your thoughts. Did it ruin your life? What decks and stakes are you working on right now? Do you got any good seeds? Put them down there in the comments. And while you're down there, please drop a like to the video and subscribe to the channel for more. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to always and forever, you do you.
Maybe you could give me some tips.